one of the ideas that we were developing before I had my awakening, and I was before the pandemic, essentially. Once the pandemic hit, a lot of TV production ended. Didn't really do anything. I was like, film here. But prior to that, I had been developing an idea with a good friend, Ken Cosentino, and we basically put together a package where we went and we met with the Seneca, I'll say that, the Seneca tribe, Seneca Indians, the nations up in New York. And so they're pretty incredible people. And they invited us to come up there and meet them. And we did. We sat down with them face to face so we could make sure that everybody was all going to be kosher. And we talked about what could we do as a film project with you guys. We understand you have some interesting things on your property, on your reservation, essentially.
Right.
And they were like, well, we have pyramids on our property. And they showed us the scans from the U.S. Air Force that were taken back in the 1940s that have been declassified now. But they showed us the scans, and I believe they were also configured in a very similar, if not almost exact configuration to the Giza plateau, those pyramids too.
Isn't that something?
Not the size and scale, like the
position.
The position. Like there was a bigger one and then two smaller ones. And I believe they also were aligned with the same star, like Orion and I don't know, Sirius, whatever they. Anyway, we talked about that. They showed us that, and we were like, well, that's incredible. Why haven't we never heard of that before? You have pyramids on your land?
Right.
They said, well, we've got more. We have actual giants, skeletons that are buried on the land here, because that's what we...
Say that again.
They have giant skeletons, like giant skeletal remains of a human or some species. And I said, how are we going to verify that? And they said, well, you can't dig them up because they're sacred to us, but you could scan them. You could get ground penetrating radar. You could get other technologies. And we were like, wow, this is incredible. And then they were like, well, if you think that's great, they also have a couple caves in their property where I guess I'll just say that they have inscriptions and writings that look very similar to hieroglyphics, they said, inside of them. And they also have some mummified people that are in these caves.